Greetings to all you babes with the power and the dudes with the voodoo. Welcome to the Vidra Network. I am your tour guide through the Labyrinth, DC. Thanks for checking us out. That movie Labyrinth was pretty great, right? I know I've seen it probably a dozen times, maybe at least that many in the theater. And I remember one scene in particular where Sarah takes a bite of this peach that's been poisoned by Jareth, the Goblin King. And she falls into this mystical realm where she finds herself at a magical ball with Jareth, the Goblin King. And they're dancing and it's whining and dining, and it's all a big distraction. And when Sarah finally realizes this, she breaks free, only to find herself with amnesia, essentially, in a big giant trash heap. Every time that she tries to remember what she was doing, where she was going, the little trash heap people keep bringing her things and reminding her that this is really what's important. They brought her little teddy bear, and every time she would start to remember, they pushed her into this room that was a replica of hers. And at one point, the little trash person tells her that there's no reason to leave because everything you ever cared about is right here. These slippers, you didn't want them thrown away. Don't forget Horsey. You love Horsey. I find two things very interesting about that scene in the movie. One, I find it interesting that they try to distract her with possessions and things. And second, I think it's interesting that they try to distract her with the past. They keep bringing up all the things that she used to have, all the things that she used to care about. It's funny because the word nostalgia was once associated with a psychological condition where the patient had a longing to return to an earlier developmental condition. It seems a little extreme and probably not something that we associate with it today. We think of it as a trip down memory lane. As a point of fact, in 2016, Dr. Juliana Brenz did a report and a study that said nostalgia was actually good for us. It said that it improves our mood when we focus on what we've gained, on where we've come from and how we've grown, and it gives us a feeling of accomplishment. It also connects us with others through shared experiences. If you've ever sat around a campfire after a paintball game, you probably have some semblance of how that one works out. But did you know it can literally make us warmer? It actually raises the body temperature and allows us to be submitted to colder temperatures and not be affected as quickly. It also makes the future seem brighter. It gives us a sense of purpose, a hope for a new beginning, a hope for a future, things that we can do. And it also kind of gives us the sense of that the present, if it happens to be bland or boring or maybe even bad, that it's only temporary, that the future can be brighter, we can achieve. Now, that's the good side of things. That's using it for good. Holding on to the past, like we see with what Jareth was trying to do to Sarah, can also be harmful. It can distract us from the actual goal of where we're trying to go, the things that we are trying to achieve. Particularly when we hold on to hurt, regret, anger, and unforgiveness. Of course, all those things lead to the dark side, as you all well know. But holding on to the past is definitely detrimental. And the Bible talks about, of course, letting things go of the physical world. It says we're not of this world. Don't be dragged down by the things of this world. But it also talks about letting go of regret, letting go of the past. It says several places that there's nothing that we can do about it. It's gone, it's changed, it's over. There's nothing we can do to change the past. All we can do is learn from it, grow, and move forward, always reaching for the future. As a matter of fact, those are Paul's exact words, that he has let go of the past and those things that were back there, and he's reaching for the future and the promised hope of that future. And if you know anything about Paul's past, he probably held a lot of regret over a lot of the things that he did. Jesus gives an example of a plowshare. If you're out plowing a field, you don't look to where you've been. You're always looking to where you're going, keeping the line straight. He goes on to say that anyone who does look back is not fit for the kingdom of heaven. It's pretty strong words, but look up that parable and see what you think. This is not to say in any way, shape, or form that any trauma that anyone has ever experienced is not relative, and it shouldn't be dealt with. It's not saying forget about the things that have happened to you, because trauma is very detrimental and has long-lasting effects. What we are saying is that it needs to be dealt with, number one, and it needs to be put into the past. We need to grow, not stagnate, not simmer on those things that have put us where we are, but see where we are, learn from the past, and always ever moving forward and reaching for a hoped future and a promised future that we have. Thanks for tuning in, guys. I appreciate it. If you have questions or want to comment, please comment below. Always appreciate them. Take care. JLY.